Sincere welcome to everyone who's here today. Thank you for not letting the weather keep you away. It certainly didn't keep us and our committee away. My relationship with Naomi Bowman Talbert Anderson began February 2018. As a human rights commissioner, I was looking for someone of significance for Michigan City for Black History Month. While conducting an internet research, Naomi Anderson's face appeared before me on Brown Girl Collective Facebook page. It said she was born in Michigan City. Who is she? Nobody at our Michigan City Commission meeting knew who she was. Nobody knew of her here in Michigan City. I made a promise to Ms. Anderson she would be known and acknowledged. Personally, I admire her determination, her commitment to humanity, her making things whole. 3 things. 3 is a symbol of something that's solid, significant, and complete. The number 3 appears on everything that is truly exceptional. Triangles and tripods are strong and stable. Present, past, future are the 3 major divisions of our time. We have 3 organizations which are essential for this tribute to receive funds from the Preserving Women's Legacy Grant: Indiana Humanities, Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, Michigan City Main Street Association. We have 3 partnering organizations: NAACP of Laporte County, Lebezenic Center for the Arts, Unity Foundation of Laporte County. We have 3 major Naomi level sponsors: Ton and Blank Construction, Horizon Bank, and United Steelworkers. 3 times 24 equals our 72 donors. 3 times 4 equals the 12 Michigan City Main Street Association board members I've known through this project. 3 times 3 represents our 9 Celebrating Naomi Anderson project team members. 3 descendants traveled here today from California. We are dedicating a sculpture to Naomi Anderson, which is solid, significant, and complete for our community, our state of Indiana, and our country. Now, my co-chair, Bonnie Schaff, will introduce you to Naomi Bowman Talbert Anderson.
Thank you, Nancy. As you've probably read or heard, Naomi Bowman was born in Michigan City, Indiana in 1843 into a free black family 7 years after this city was incorporated. She was admitted to the segregated public school at the age of 12 when they noticed her writing ability. Armed with that background, Naomi Anderson used her considerable writing and public speaking ability to fight for human rights and for women's right to vote. With her strong ideals and persuasive skills, tens of thousands of people in 19th century America read her writings or heard her speak. She is a woman who greatly deserves to have her legacy preserved and to be honored by her hometown and indeed all of America. At this time, please welcome local poetess Carnessa Carnes, portraying Naomi Anderson with a reading of a speech that Naomi gave in Chicago in 1869. She has her hair styled like hers even.
I present myself to you as a composition of humanity, for there flows through my veins a combination of blood of 4 distinct nations, of which the greater part is Dutch, part Indian, part African, and the lesser part Irish. I am an American because here I was born. I am true because I love the dear old flag. I am on the right side of the question because I believe woman was made a helpmate for man, that he is but half a man without woman.
All right.
And you need her help as well in political affairs as you do in private or domestic affairs. And gentlemen, I warn you no longer to stand out in refusing the right for which we contend, and trying to withhold from these noble ladies here and their darker sisters the franchise they now demand. Miss Anthony and Mrs. Stanton, with their high moral and intellectual power, have shaken the states of New England, and the shock is felt here today. The echo comes back from St. Louis and all through the West. A sensation is aroused in England, and soon the whole world will be awakened to the sense and the value and importance of our cause. Woman has a power within herself, and the God that reigns above, who commanded Moses to lead the children of Israel from out of the hand of Egypt and from out of the house of bondage, who walked the waters of the Red Sea, who endowed Samson with the power to slay his enemies with the jawbone of an ass, who furnished Abraham Lincoln with the knowledge to write the Emancipation Proclamation, whereby 4 millions of blacks were set free, that God, our God, is with and for us, and we'll hear the call of woman, and her rights will be granted, and she shall be permitted to vote.
I'm sorry for anybody that's following that. I'm glad I went first. Okay, our speakers have been given instruction. They're to speak for 2 minutes or less. And if it's longer than that, either Bonnie or I will come up and stand next to them. That's not a wrap-up signal, that's an exit signal. Our first speaker, Indiana Humanities? Thank you. Okay, our first speaker from the Indiana Humanities is Kiara. That's President and CAO, and thank you for being here with us today from a very long, faraway place.
All right, first of all, another round of applause for Naomi. Was that amazing? All right. I timed my remarks 1 minute 30 seconds, but it's important to be here to thank all of you. This is tremendous, and I hope that this just brings so much more attention to Naomi's story, to your wonderful community, and to the state of Indiana. All right, so Indiana Humanities, we joined with a number of statewide organizations and the Lieutenant Governor in 2020 to celebrate the centennial of women's suffrage. One of our goals was to bring to light the unsung stories of Indiana women who have positively impacted their communities, their state, and our nation. We were especially proud to partner with the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs to offer the Preserving Women's Legacy Grant Program, which provided some of the resources that helped bring us here today. 3 Indiana Main Street organizations were given up to $40,000 to create permanent installments celebrating women in their community. This was an incredibly competitive grant, and Michigan City rose to the occasion by telling the story of Naomi Anderson, an African-American writer and activist who advocated for suffrage alongside Susan B. Anthony and other major figures in the movement. Naomi's contributions have been overlooked for many years, but thanks to all of you, it will no longer be so. We are thrilled that we're becoming reacquainted with her story, and this beautiful sculpture is going to bring, again, great attention to her for years to come. So in conclusion, the Celebrating Naomi Anderson project exemplifies the sort of projects we dreamed about when we hoped to shine a light on Indiana's women heroes. We at Indiana Humanities are incredibly proud of this work, excited to be here with all of you, and congratulate the Michigan City community on a job well done, and we look forward to partnering with you many, many more times in the future. Thank you.
Our next speaker is from the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, Andrea Kern, who's Director of Strategic Initiatives.
Hi everyone, thank you. The Office of Community and Rural Affairs is part of the Lieutenant Governor's family of business, and I know she wishes that she could be here to congratulate all of you today. This is a project that's near and dear to her heart, but she is out of the country, so get me instead. But in my role as Director of Strategic Initiatives at OCRA, I oversee the Indiana Main Street program. Thank you for the invitation to be here today, and congratulations to each of you on the hard work, dedication, and passion you had to make this sculpture in tribute to a great Hoosier woman possible. OCRA, in partnership with Indiana Humanities, established the Preserving Women's Legacy Grants in 2020. The grant was designed to catalyze the discovery, preservation, and activation of places that tell stories about women's contributions in Indiana. As a special suffrage centennial project, this grant also provided an opportunity to building the capacity of the awarded Main Street organizations, as well as build or strengthen community partnerships with local leadership. Through the Preserving Women's Legacy Grant in 2020, Michigan City Main Street Association received $40,000 to construct the sculpture here today. Congratulations to Michigan City Main Street Association, the Celebrating Naomi Anderson project team, and the Michigan City community. This project will preserve Naomi's legacy for years to come. So thank you.
Our next speaker from the Michigan City Main Street Association is Arturo Pozos, and I want to make it very clear that they were the only organization in our community who was eligible to receive this grant. So without their partnership, without their sponsorship, without their support, we would not have been able to do this. So my thanks goes to Arturo Pozos, president, and also to all of the men and women that serve on the board of the Michigan City Main Street Association.
Good afternoon, and thanks everybody for coming out on this lovely Northwest Indiana day. We're kind of used to this, but tomorrow would have been better. It was when Nancy and Bonnie brought this to us. Abby May was our current president, and she's like, "Yeah, let's do this. This sounds amazing." We went through a great process of finding an artist. And we looked at, I don't know, 6 or 7 different artists, and this one just really spoke to us. It was just an outstanding piece. It's been a long 2 years getting to this point, but absolutely well worth it. I want to thank the committee, the Celebrating Naomi Anderson committee. I want to thank all of our sponsors and the steelworkers that did a lot of the work in the cold out here in December to get this piece up. It was quite amazing. Yeah, absolutely. But it's just been an honor to be part of this, and really cool to see the family here. Just an outstanding project. And in December, we signed agreements with the city to gift this to the city. So it will be here for a long time, and we're ready to move on to our next project. So hopefully Okra will hook us up with something. Thank you. That's it. I'm done. I'm not going to use my 2 minutes. Thanks.
Thank you. A requirement of the Indiana Humanities and OGRA grant was that we have some organizational partners that I'm going to introduce to you now. The first one is NAACP Laporte County Unit 3061, represented by Faye Moore on our project team. And please welcome the president of NAACP Laporte County Unit 3061 to speak on their behalf now, Mr. Wesley Scully.
All right. Thank you very much. And I'd like to say thank you to the Naomi Anderson's committee. You guys have done a fine job. I know you put a lot of hard work in it. And I'd like to thank everybody that came out to support this great event. And I'm proud as the NAACP president to be a part of this. This is historical. And I tell you what, I was shocked to know that she came from Michigan City. That really made me lift my head up and stick my chest out. And she fought for the same things that the NAACP have been fighting for over 100 years. And that's civil rights, justice, and equality. We as human beings are more than just color. We're more than just culture. We're more than just neighborhoods. We're human beings. And she understood that. And she fought for that our children and our children's children can have an opportunity and a chance to be successful in the greatest country on the planet. And then we fight, and we'll never stop fighting until we can look each other in the eye and say that I'm glad to be a human being. No one deserves to be pushed down. No one deserves to be denied opportunity and to be punished for just being from a different culture or different features. So me as the president of the NAACP in Laporte County, this has been my fight. This is what I've been advocating for. And this is exactly what she advocated for. And I stand on her shoulders. And everybody out there, every female that is striving right now and doing a wonderful, this is Female Month. This is Women's Month, right? And I'll take my hand off to you ladies. You have obtained power, you have obtained unity, and you running things. And I'm glad you're running things, because you're doing a great job. And I thank God for you. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Wesley. Another partner organization of ours is the Lebezenic Center for the Arts, represented on our committee by their board member, Dale Cooper.
She's at Lebezenic.
I don't see it. Okay. And we are very grateful for all they've done to promote this project, and especially for hosting the reception today that I hope you will all come to. And so, to speak on behalf of Lebezenic Center for the Arts, please welcome their Executive Director, Janet Block.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming out today. Okay, just a couple things I want to say. First of all, I really think we're also represented from our board by Rose Tejeda on your committee. We've got 2 board members who are on the committee, but I want to welcome Naomi's descendants, and I also just want to say I'm here really representing the arts, and I want to make such a plea for how the arts make Michigan City and any community a beautiful place to live, work, and visit. And I want to mention Bernard Williams, who was the sculptor. I think that the committee did a phenomenal job by picking him. And I think that one day we'll all be here celebrating Carnessa's descendants. I just want to say, when you get to the Art Center, enjoy yourself, ask us questions. There's going to be more poetry by Ming Washington and Carnessa Carnes. And I want you to go downstairs and look at the project that we did with school kids about Naomi Anderson. You will see paper dolls that are carrying protest posters. And I hope that Lebezenic will always be a place where this community in its entirety is represented and has a voice. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. And now, the Michigan City Public Art Committee has provided us with the information, the answers we needed, and the policies that we needed in order to apply for the grant, and then in order to select the artist according to their policy that they had established. And they also had a policy to establish how to donate a sculpture to the city. And so we did that with their help. Judy Jacoby, Dale Cooper, and Rose Tejeda are all on the Public Art Committee and represented that on our project team. But nearly all of the Public Art Committee members actually helped advise us, especially Robin Cohn, Shannon Eason, Matt Kubik, Jane Daly, and Kathy Dennis. I spoke to each of them individually several times, I believe. So to speak now on behalf of Michigan City Public Art Committee, please welcome their secretary, Jane Daly.
My feet are frozen. Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Northwest Indiana. Woo! Yes. The Michigan City Public Art Committee was formed to enrich the community through public art. Our goal is to create an identity that highlights Michigan City's unique history, culture, and natural resources. We strive to implement this goal by strengthening the positive reputation of the community, enhancing its beauty, coordinating an artistic vision, and enriching the lives of citizens, the businesses, and the visitors to Michigan City. Art in public places is a visible symbol of the standards, values, and aspirations of the community. It allows its citizens to feel a closer connection to the community, and its existence becomes a part of the environment. When most successful, it becomes a unifying element that ties together the streetscape, the architecture, and the elements of the natural landscapes of the community. The Michigan City Public Art Committee, MAC, welcomes proposals for art projects that celebrate Michigan City's unique historical, cultural, and natural resources. On October 15th, 2020, the Michigan City Main Street Association was awarded $40,000 grant by the state of Indiana to construct a sculpture in the Westcott Park honoring Naomi Anderson. Anderson was born in Michigan City in 1843 to free African-American parents. She became a significant civil rights activist, orator, writer, and poet. This project, in partnership with the Lebezenic Center for the Arts, the NAACP Laporte County Branch 3061, and the Unity Foundation of Laporte County, celebrates her accomplishments. On January 21st, 2021, MAC had an opportunity to view and endorse the project in accordance with the MAC Master Plan and the rules of Michigan City. And so, with that being said, it is MAC's great honor to be part of this unveiling celebration of Michigan City's native daughter, Naomi Anderson.
The next three speakers I'm introducing are part of our three that I talked about being our sponsors. And the entry level for this was a $20,000 or more contribution, either funds or in kind. Our first speaker is from Ton & Blank Construction, and Ton & Blank saved the day. We were facing COVID, we were facing labor shortages, we were facing scarcity of materials, and our project had come, I didn't call it a halt, I called it a pause. And Ton & Blank came forward and said, yes, this is our community, this is the kind of project we do. And I'll have to say that the entry level of $20,000 has at least doubled by then, if not more. So I really want to acknowledge that sculpture would not be there now if it wasn't for Tenant construction. So, John Gilmore, President, will say a few words to us. Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. Yeah, over the last 100 years, Ton Blank has been involved with several community-changing projects. Most recently, Strebel Pond, Art Space, the new hospital for Franciscan here in Michigan City, the new courthouse. So when we were asked to participate in this community-changing project, as Nancy said, we didn't know who Naomi Anderson was, right? But when we learned more about her life, her sacrifice, and what she did for the United States of America, we got behind it 100%. And we're thankful that we were asked to get behind it. We're thankful we were able to do just a little part of it to help memorialize her life, her accomplishments, and her connection to our community. And I want to thank everyone for allowing us to be a part of this, and I want to congratulate the committee for their vision and their wherewithal to get this great project done. Thank you.
Our next sponsor is Horizon Bank, and they did give us a donation in cash, which enabled us to not only work on the sculpture but also conduct many of the activities that we're doing with the community for education, outreach, and engagement. So representing Horizon Bank is Jennifer Shoup, who's the district manager for Horizon Bank.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for coming out today on a kind of cold and rainy day. And I really have to thank Naomi's family for coming today. And I hope this really makes a world of difference to know that she's part of household and family conversations now going forward. So definitely at my house. I have 2 teenage daughters, and we have talked about Naomi and the things she's done, and we look forward to learning so much more about her as we're inspired by her. So I'm honored to be here today on behalf of Horizon Bank and our advisors. Our values are to support our community and human rights and just being kind to everyone. It does make a difference. I want to thank everybody that was involved with this, the other sponsors, right? The Celebrating Naomi Anderson Project, the Michigan City Main Street Association, and those that provided in-kind services. I first heard about this project from some ladies that I work with on other projects, and to hear them talk about the passion and all the dedication and hard work to bring this today, you should be so proud. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I've also talked about Naomi as I've learned about her in a women's leadership group, and I found that we have a connection. Naomi actually attended a church of one of my fellow women in leadership members. So I learned that she was married there, her daughter was baptized there. So I think as we learn and talk about Naomi in our everyday lives, I think we will all find a connection to her and what we will do in our future. So thank you for her life contributions. Her legacy will live on. And thank you everybody for supporting this very important project in our community.
Last but not least are the United Steelworkers Local 12775. And I'll have to say that another of those pauses that came in helped us out, but I've also enrolled them in continuing to work with us. So they're going to be helping us hang our banners on light poles here in Michigan City. Also, I said, you guys were painting so great the day that we put the sculpture up. I think we should enroll you in our maintenance crew. So this is going to be an ongoing relationship with the United Steelworkers Local 12775. I want to welcome a son of Michigan City, who's Civil and Human Rights Chair for the Steelworkers, Abraham Dudley.
Hello everyone. Like Nancy said, my name is Abraham Dudley. And one day my vice president of my union gave me a phone call with some very interesting information, something I didn't even know. I was born and raised here in this town and never ever was told anything about Miss Naomi Anderson. I actually used to walk right here where the sculptures are. My great grandma lived right here. I spent a lot of time down here in the projects here in Michigan City. I also got my hair cut right behind us there, Mr. Gibson's barbershop. All of the time, I never heard the name of Miss Naomi Anderson. That is incredible to me, coming from this city. The way I grew up, my family did tell me a lot about things coming up, but Miss Naomi wasn't a part of that. And I say that being is that I love that this committee got together and honors Miss Naomi and her family. And it touches me in my heart, in my soul, in my spirit, because even though I didn't know about Miss Naomi Anderson growing up, when I look at my mama, I know Miss Naomi. When I looked at my aunts, my uncles, I know Miss Naomi. I may not have known her story, but I live in her legacy. I will never, ever forget the name of Miss Naomi Anderson. For as long as I live, neither will my grandkids, neither will my brothers, my sisters, anyone else I know, my friends. When I look at my wife, with her beautiful self right there holding that phone up, oh my God, do I see Miss Naomi Anderson. Her legacy will go on. It will not be forgotten the way it was. And I do see you over there, Angie, Miss Naomi Anderson as well. I thank everyone for letting me have a part in this. I appreciate it. Also, my vice president again, Mr. Vernon Beck. I call him Uncle V. I appreciate it. And Godspeed to everyone, and keep Miss Naomi Anderson alive. Thank you.
I have to apologize for skipping a very important speaker on our list today. Back to our 3 partner organizations. Third one, can't forget, is Unity Foundation of Laporte County. They established the Celebrating Naomi Anderson Fund, which allowed people to make tax-deductible donations. Plus, they kept all the financial accounting, all the records of that, and they gave us a weekly report every week for the past more than a year, about a year and a half that they've given us that, and just provided us with legitimacy and just a level of professionalism that we really needed. This way we didn't even know how badly we needed that. So please welcome to speak on behalf of Unity Foundation of Laporte County, please welcome their Vice President, Shannon Walker.
Hello, thank you. And Maggie wishes she could be here today. She has a family event, but I'm pleased to represent Unity, and thank you to the board members who are also here representing Unity. The Unity Foundation is your community foundation. We're here to strengthen Laporte County now and forever, and I am delighted to be here today to see this dream coming true. When we first got a call asking if and how Unity Foundation could help in this project, we knew this was something we needed to support. We knew this because the Vibrant Communities of Laporte County Action Agenda said to celebrate our community history and culture. For Unity and Vibrant Communities, co-chaired by Unity and the Laporte County Convention and Visitors Bureau, we couldn't think of a better example than helping bring Naomi Anderson to life. We worked with the Naomi Committee and the Michigan City Main Street Association on what they thought they would need. Our goal was to make things easier for them. We lent our name to the project, started a fund, and within days we're ready to accept donations and grants. We also signed on as a project partner for their grant application to the Indiana Humanities Council. It turns out, if you have a community foundation and Main Street Association as a partner, you score more points. Not only did they score points, they scored a Unity Power for Good grant in 2021. We commend the amazing work of the Naomi Committee: Main Street, the city, the artists, donors, Indiana Humanities Council, Okra, and everyone involved. They were organized, thoughtful, and attended to the details. To think that in 2 short years, even during a pandemic, we stand here today. To the Unity Foundation, this day is really the beginning. It's our hope that this very visible celebration of Naomi Anderson will add Michigan City to an important map, a map of people who put the cause of civil rights, particularly women's rights, ahead of their own needs and fears. Everyone today has benefited from Naomi's sacrifice. It is our hope that the project committee continues, and this place becomes a magnet for fans of history and young people to learn about and be inspired to be like Naomi. Congratulations to everyone who made this project possible. It's incredible. Thank you.
And now we are thrilled to introduce to you 3 of Naomi Anderson's descendants, and they are all descendants of her marriage to William Talbert, who was a barber in Valparaiso. They spent the first year of their marriage here in Michigan City. They got married at Trinity Episcopal Church here in Michigan City. And the 3 descendants are here from California. And please welcome Naomi Anderson's great-granddaughter, Betty Austin, her great-great-granddaughter, Alicia Guerrero, and her great-great-grandson, Ronald Matthews.
Hello everyone. So it's actually good it's raining today because we can take this to California because we've been in a 3-year drought, so this is actually a blessing. So first I wanted to say a heartfelt thank you on behalf of my family. There's a lot of us all over the country, but we want to say thank you to the Naomi Anderson project team. We have Joseph Coates, Dale Cooper, Judy Jacoby, Jerry Jones, Nancy Moldenhauer, Faye Moore, Crystal Williams French, and Sue Webster and Bonnie Schaff. So, and I also want to say thank you to the sculptor Bernard Williams for your vision and all your dedication and hard work. We really appreciate it. Like many of you, we ourselves didn't know about Naomi. The only thing we knew about her was through name only. And it wasn't until I went on Google, because I wanted to find out more about my mom's side of the family, that because ever since I was born, younger, I always felt a connection to my grandmother, my mom's mother, Mary Rose Talbert Matthews. And I never got to meet her. And I've always wanted to learn more about her, and she didn't talk a lot about her life because she had a really hard life. She was a very hard worker. She was made from the same cloth as Naomi. Her dedication, and by learning about Naomi, I decided to Google her name one day, and I found this history. And by learning about Naomi, I feel like I've met my grandmother. And so I just want to say thank you to everyone, and that and for kids, if kids watch this, and grandparents and parents, please tell stories. If your kids ask, please tell them your family story, because you know that it's very important. And because all of us, we're all Americans, we have all built this country, and it's important that we don't let any other unsung heroes go unsung. And that I hope in the world, in the United States, as we find out more histories, that we can celebrate everyone eventually. So thank you.
The breaker blue.
Speak loud, Auntie. Speak loud.
Actually, this whole experience has brought tears to my eyes. The committee, just everyone, and all of you here, and my great-grandmother, and my brother, and the rest of our family, we love you all. You're part of our family. Michigan City is part of our family. So we love you all, and we're so happy we got the opportunity to come here and see more beauty. So tears is going to come to my eyes, and I'm going to break up. So, and I thank you, Lord, for bringing them all here. Thank you, Lord, for everyone that's been part of this. Thank you, Lord, for Naomi and for my mother and my dear daughter and grandchildren. And God bless you. Get home safe where it's warm.
I want to say thank you for those who made this happen and those who came out to see it happen. I now know why my son writes poetry. I now know why my daughter and my cousin are beauticians. I now know why I am a strong advocate in the NAACP. I'm from the Pasadena branch, 1054. Also, I work with the building trades, and I'm a general contractor. So all this is full circle. I work with the LA County Building Trades, the union. So I thank everybody, and I thank you guys, and thank you very much for coming out.
We are very.
There's too much water.
Yeah, the breaker is blown. There's too much water. So I hope you can hear me. We're getting close to the very end of the program. Thank you for hanging in here with us. We're now going to recognize Bernard Williams, the sculptor of this wonderful piece of art that's behind us. Bernard Williams is going to come up and make some comments. And then we're going to part the sea so he and Tom Schmidt, the welder, are going to be able to go and unveil the plaque to this magnificent work.
All right, so our sound is gone, so hopefully you can hear me. It's been a real honor to execute the sculpture here for Michigan City. I think the city deserves a tremendous amount of credit for coming together to put together a project like this. It's a lot of work raising money for this, and coordinating and organizing numerous individuals and organizations to put it all together. A lot of communities around the country are pulling monuments down, right? Because they really don't speak to, the moment, and they don't speak to the history that we really want to celebrate. Again, I think the city here deserves a lot of credit for putting up a monument that we all care about. And adding to and celebrating history that is meaningful, that really speaks to, the American community, to people who are of all different races. One of the important elements of the sculpture is a phrase that Naomi wrote that says we are all one people. And it doesn't mean that we're all the same, but it means that we share the same ideas, we share the same beliefs, and we believe in each other. So I think this, the work here is really about community. It's about people coming together to make something amazing happen. I also want to celebrate my welder, Tom Schmidt, who is here in Laporte. Come on over, Tom. Tom did all the welding, all the cutting on the sculpture, so it's a completely hand-cut project. It was a tremendous amount of work. I couldn't have done it without Tom. I also want to thank Conan Blank, who rolled in with big trucks and big equipment to finish this work out. They poured the concrete pad for this piece, which was really important and really, we wouldn't have been able to do this without them. So, again, it's a moment where the community here came together to create something really special. Okay, I'm three. 1, 2, 3.
Hello everybody, my name is Dale Cooper. We want to welcome you on behalf of the Lebezenic Center for the Arts, and this is Crystal Williams French.
Thank you for coming. We're very glad you're here.
We want to welcome you to the Naomi Anderson project. We've been working on this program for about 2 years. We're so glad you came out to visit it. We're glad you're here at the Lebezenic Center for the Arts, where we're having the Latinx project. And we want you to let you know that we have other programs that you can come to here. We have art classes, so we hope you come and visit us more often. Thank you.
I do want to add, feel free to walk around and enjoy the art. There is art upstairs also, and downstairs in the lower level there are images of Naomi Anderson that our youth have drawn. So enjoy.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Lebezenic Center for the Arts. I want to thank all of you who stood out there in the wind and the rain and the coldness with us. I feel warmed in my heart for all of the love that was shared between everybody that was there. So thank you very much. We're going to have 2 poetry readings. And then after that, Bonnie's going to come up here and make an announcement or 2 maybe. And before anybody leaves, I want everybody to know, if you were one of the speakers today, when we're all finished with this program here, please come up front, because we were not able to get the usual group photographs that we get for a big significant event like this. So if you were one of the speakers, please come up when we're done with this. I really appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Okay, our first poem is going to be read by Ming Joy Washington. And Ming is a poet and a curator. And I've invited her to introduce herself because I know she knows what she wants you to know about her. And I don't know that. So, Ming, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. That's great. My name is Ming Joy Washington. It is a great honor and pleasure to join you today and to share this poem in honor of Miss Naomi Anderson. When my childhood neighbor, Miss Judy Jacoby, told me about the project being organized in Michigan City and that an artist I greatly admire, Bernard Williams, would be constructing this monument, I knew I had to be a part of it in some way, and I'm so honored they welcomed me to the program to share this poem. My research on Miss Anderson was really in debt to the committee and also to the P&W library guide who organized a digital archive on Naomi's history and legacy. I also spent time researching in the Black American newspaper archive and found many speeches and details of Miss Anderson's life I don't think I would have found elsewhere, including details about her baptism, some really charming and outspoken reports where she addresses the press saying, if anyone misquotes me, if you falsify what I say, you will see me in court. So I was really charmed and thrilled to hear her voice there. And the quotes that I've included in my poem come from an 1894 speech titled "Where I Stand" that was published in the People's Friend, and also from the San Francisco Call, an 1896 headline that brings the title of this poem. A new apostle to the Negroes. The 1896 headline reads, Miss Naomi Anderson will speak to them. She loves the work. A long lecturing tour to commence here will go to Los Angeles. Miss Naomi Anderson is coming to town. She's set to speak on suffering, women's rights, your vote, blackness, and all the world's evils that still exist. Miss Anderson, I heard you do hair. Tell me, please, how to control the frizz, my soured smile on picture day when hair comes undone from twists, and who but me in grade 3 is thinking of uncontrollable naps? I am a race woman after all, and by this I mean 2 days ago 3 women locked my hair. And if we went back 2 centuries, Miss Anderson, tell me please, would they be locking my hands? Born free, you and me both, but still suffering. Miss Anderson, tell me please, what made you wish for others what you wish for yourself? Selflessness is something I'm looking to learn. Looking for love at this age, though I should fancy freedom more. Just moved west from the south. For many years I lived here in your hometown. I left the city at 17, I went to school. No, you didn't, but still, I think we learned the same. To be a black woman in America, you're becoming, at the start of the Civil War, the bloodshed on battlefields, your own brother, Ashe, mother, sister, husband, child after child, Ashe, lost to illness, lost to life, Ashe, they leave us to suffer, bleed, and die. Burned at the stake, hanged to a tree, riddled with bullets and tortured in every conceivable manner. We are truly a manufactured people. The price of our bodies once the commerce of the nation. These are your words, not mine. Miss Anderson, I wonder, all those years ago, what did the American landscape look like zooming by? From your train car, I imagine you hardly noticed the land changing from plains to peaks, with your mind on the matter at hand, or your head in a book, or your pen to paper. Miss Anderson, please tell me, all of the poems you authored, where are they lost to? I have written this one to ask this of you. Please know that I am looking. Please know I carry the flag of race woman, and by this I mean I am for the advancement of my class of people socially and financially. I am anti-war, pro-choice, pro-love, and am grateful for my vote. I believe, in the words of June Jordan, that poetry is a political action undertaken for the sake of information, the faith, the exorcism, and the lyrical invention that telling the truth makes possible. Miss Anderson, please tell me the secret. What new words are needed to speak of this world where our suffering has not changed since the Negroes got a new apostle? Thank you.
Thank you, Ming, and I'm so glad you got in contact with us. Really am. Thank you. Our next poem is called A Tribute to Naomi. And those of you that joined us outdoors already heard from Carnessa Carnes. And this is Carnessa Carnes, not as Naomi Anderson, but Carnessa Carnes as Carnessa. She's a poetess and our Naomi Anderson portrayer, Carnessa.
I'd just like to say that I'm honored to be here today and that I was able to participate and meet the family. And I just want to say that because of Naomi's voice, we are able to speak so freely through poetry, through activism. So I'm just so blessed to be a part of this and honored. Naomi Anderson is from small Michigan City, but her activism pedigree said, small thinking ain't in me. She was bold, fearless for African American rights, a natural born leader equipped with lioness sight, hear her roar. Ready for takeoff, limitless, they watched her soar. She encountered obstacles through the suffrage movement, but had undying hope. From Michigan City all the way to California, she fought for a woman's right to vote. She had blinders on, no distractions. No doubt about it, she was formed and fashioned for greatness. Her fiery speeches gave life to the movement and sustain life in the movement in every aspect. Her bona fide words extract power on impact. She was determined and blessed. She studied, majored in, and passed all of life's tests. Focused on her vision, she was on a fast track, pedal to the floor driven, and she never looked back. She had her own style, set her own pace, uniquely set apart to empower her own race. Her bio said she was the most important, unrecognized citizen of Michigan City. But from now on, we'll celebrate this great pillar of our community. I'm sure she had many unforeseen ups and downs, tears shed in private when no one else was around. Miss Naomi was kissed by the sun, and couldn't nobody block her shine. We will all continue to overcome as we honor the legacy of her life. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Carnessa and Ming. You were delightful. Your geniuses, you were delightful. Thank you for doing this today. We thank all of you for coming here today. For those of you who braved the cold, who were over there and came over here, and for everybody that's here, thank you for your support, for your interest that you've shown through the last 2 years that we've been doing this. We hope that you'll take time within the next few months, when it's maybe a little bit warmer and there's some green grass, go over to that sculpture, take a look at it, really get to know it, and get to know the stories about Naomi Anderson that the sculptor put into the lovely sculpture that Bernard Williams created for us. And I just want to make a couple of announcements, and then we're going to bring the whole project team up here. But next Saturday, Joseph Coates and Carnessa Carnes and I will give a presentation at the library in Laporte, downtown Laporte on Indiana Avenue, 3 o'clock, and it will be talking about the archives and you know, a lot about Naomi too, and you'll get to see Carnessa again if you come to that. And we want to point out too, I believe it's in the program. I haven't looked at the program yet to see, but there are archives that Joe and I created that are, it's a virtual archive at Purdue Northwest. If you you can find the actual link to it, the site for it is in the program for today, so be sure to get that. Otherwise, you can Google it and just Google Naomi Anderson Archives. First thing that pops up is Purdue Northwest. So we hope you'll take a look at that. And now the project team is going to join me, and I want to tell you that we have been meeting, we've had Zoom meetings every week for 15 months, and then we cut back to twice a month. So that's what we've been doing the last 6 months. So for 2 years, we've been meeting together. We planned all of this. Everything that's happened, we planned together as a team. And although we have gotten to know each other really quite well by doing that, but this is only the 3rd time that the project team has all been together at one time in person. So, yeah. So we're very happy to be together today, and we're going to have our picture taken, and then it is time to celebrate. And, yes.
And before we can celebrate, inside each of your programs there's an evaluation. So if you would take the time to please fill that out. There's a very beautiful purple leather carrier by the information booth out there. If you didn't bring a pen, there's a box of pens there. Please take the time to fill that out. It's very important for us to be able to share information with our grantor, and then also all of our sponsors and donors. People want to know how we did, so please take the time to do that. Also, there's a video display over here. It's a looped video, so you can have a peek at the documentary that Ronna Siegel's working on, celebrating Naomi Anderson. You'll also see time-lapsed installation of the sculpture, so if you missed it, you can witness it in just a few minutes. So take time to see that before you go on out also. Okay, let's go. Project team, come on up. Politics today.